So what if you could actually boost your chances of starting a family just by tweaking the first 5 minutes of your day? Well, today on The Explainer, we're going to break down a really fascinating morning routine that's designed to do exactly that for male fertility.
Okay, let's just get right to it. The big claim here is a potential 300% boost to male fertility. The idea is that this is possible with a super simple 5-minute morning routine. We're not talking expensive treatments or crazy diets. It's a really bold claim, so let's dig in and see what's behind it.
You know, for so many couples, the journey to pregnancy can have its share of challenges. And while there are a ton of factors involved, the health of male fertility, things like sperm count, motility, and morphology, that's often a really crucial piece of the puzzle. So this explainer is all about simple, daily habits that are aimed at improving exactly that.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the foundation. And we're starting with two of the most basic things out there, water and sun.
Okay, step 1. The very first thing you do when you wake up is drink a big glass of room temperature water. The key here is you've got to do this before you have any coffee or tea. The whole point is to wake up your internal systems and just flush everything out first.
So why is this such a big deal? Well, think of it like putting fuel in your sperm factory. When you hydrate properly, you improve blood flow directly to your reproductive organs, and you're flushing out all the toxins that built up overnight. I mean, even the WHO confirms that being just a little bit dehydrated can lower your semen volume. It's such a simple step, but the biological impact is huge.
Step number 2 is all about harnessing the power of nature. The idea is to get just 2 to 5 minutes of that early morning sunlight on your skin. And listen, this isn't about getting a tan. It's about kickstarting a really crucial hormonal process in your body.
And this is why that sunlight is so important. It helps your body produce vitamin D, which people often call the fertility vitamin. It's a key building block for hormones, especially testosterone. And as the source points out, a Danish study way back in 2011 found a direct link between low vitamin D and poor sperm motility and morphology.
Okay, now, you're gonna wanna listen closely to this next part. The source material really emphasizes this point, saying it's one of the most powerful parts of the whole routine. They actually describe it as a total reset for your mind and your body. So, on to Section 2, core boosters, where we're going to focus on showers and breathing. These next couple of habits are all about cooling the system down and energizing the body to create the absolute best environment for sperm production.
All right, I'm not going to lie, this one might take a little getting used to. Step 3 is to take a cool or even a cold shower in the morning. The main goal here is to lower your scrotal temperature, which, it turns out, is incredibly important for sperm health.
And here's why cooling things down matters so much. Think of sperm as being super sensitive. They just do not do well in high heat. And as you can see here, it's the common things that can cause problems, like tight clothes or even just having a laptop on your lap for too long. So avoiding this excess heat is a really critical preventative step.
Okay, now let's talk about how to recharge your fertility engine every single morning. This isn't about some grueling workout, but rather 2 very specific and apparently very powerful exercises.
This is a pretty powerful 2-part punch. First up, deep breathing. This floods your body with oxygen and helps lower those stress hormones. And second, pelvic floor exercises. You might know them as Kegels, which strengthen muscles that are crucial for sexual health. The combination is said to be a game changer for both sperm quality and your overall sexual function. Okay, so we've talked about how to boost the system. Now we've got to talk about how to protect it. This whole section is about shielding yourself from harmful things in the environment.
You know, it's so easy to overlook this stuff, but we're pretty much surrounded by potential toxins in our day-to-day lives. I'm talking about everything from the containers we store our food in to the air we breathe. The idea here is that just being a little more mindful of these things can make a huge difference.
And this slide gives us some really practical swaps. Things like choosing glass containers over plastic ones so chemicals don't leach into your food, or thoroughly washing your produce to get rid of pesticides. The source even suggests soaking them in a bit of vinegar water. These are just small, conscious choices that can really lower your body's toxic load. Now, to get your blood flowing and your hormones balanced, the 6th step is all about getting your body moving. And look, we're not talking about training for a marathon here, just a short, consistent burst of activity in the morning.
It can be as simple as a brisk walk or knocking out a few squats or push-ups. This kind of movement is just fantastic for fertility because it helps boost testosterone, lowers stress, and it can reduce insulin resistance. It's all good stuff.
This final core step is all about what's going on in your head.
As you can see here, your very first thoughts of the day can set off a hormonal chain reaction, and it can either be a positive one or a negative one.
I absolutely love this analogy of the brain acting as a conductor. The whole idea is that if you start your day stressed out or thinking negative thoughts, you trigger the release of cortisol, which is a stress hormone that can be really bad for sperm quality. But if you focus on gratitude instead, you send positive signals that help keep your hormones in a much healthier, more balanced state.
All right, as promised, for everyone who's stuck with us, here it is, the bonus tip. And this one is described as having a potential 10-fold benefit. So yeah, it's a big one.
And here it is, testicular massage. The practice involves using some warm olive or sesame oil to gently massage the area a few times a week. The logic behind it is actually really simple and powerful. It's designed to physically increase blood circulation right at the source of sperm production.
So let's just put this all together for a second. The real power here is how all these simple things work together. You start with hydration and sun, you move on to cooling and targeted exercises, then you shield your system from toxins, and you top it all off with a positive mindset and that powerful bonus technique. Each step is simple, it's free, and it just builds on the last one.
The whole goal here is to provide proactive, really accessible ways to take control of your reproductive health. And that really leaves us with this one last thought. What if the biggest changes in your life could actually begin with the smallest, most consistent actions you take every single day?